Welcome and thanks for joining us. My guest today is Shane Canfield, the CEO of WAEPA. Shane, always good to talk with you.
Good to see you, Tom.
And WAEPA is a funny word.
Yes.
So I like to begin each year with you with just a quick review of what it stands for and the why behind that.
Yeah, thank you. It's worldwide assurance for employees of public agencies. And it is a mouthful, so we use WAEPA, as you rightly mentioned. So all of our advertising, all of our media, everything goes out with that name. Started in 1943. During World War II, we had thousands of federal employees who were civilian, not State Department and not military. So that was the OSS and a whole bunch of agencies which had been stood up during the war. They were traveling in Europe and Asia, which were technically war zones. These were non-combatants. But if you're in a war zone, life insurance won't pay. And so this was before the federal benefits program existed. That didn't happen until the 1950s. And so President Roosevelt tasked his Secretary of the Treasury to fix this problem, and WAEPA was born. So we remain a nonprofit benefits trust, but we're not a government agency. We're not an NGO. We're none of those things. But it has a rich, wonderful history, and it's a thrill to be able to work for them.
And here we are in open season, and feds are thinking about their federal employee health benefit plan that they're going to pick. But you bring the idea of life insurance and why that's still an important choice now as it was in 1943.
We find that our busiest seasons are November and December, and it's for the exact reason that you're talking about. People are looking at health insurance, which of course is a much bigger spend. Life insurance is a fraction of what you spend on that. But you're opening your thinking about your personal budgets. So you're looking at health insurance, but then ideally you're looking at your household budget. What can we afford as a household? And what are my options around life insurance is a critical example. Life insurance is extremely important to a person's financial well-being, protecting those they love if they're not here. But this is a natural time that people think about it. And I would say a quarter of our business, approaching a third of our business happens in the last 2 months of each year for that very reason. So we encourage everyone to think broadly about not just health insurance, but life insurance and disability as part of an overall financial review that people should do every year.
Yes, it all relates in kind of one complex of protection for yourself. And in those intervening years, of course, there is now FEGLI. But FEGLI may not be as comprehensive or as totally valuable to feds as the WAEPA plans. Maybe compare and contrast for us.
Well, you're right that the federal plan is FEGLI, and they only have one, unlike health insurance, they only have one carrier for life insurance, and that is the MetLife underwritten plan that we know as FEGLI. Ours, we do have over 50,000 people in the plan, so it's a robust plan that's well participated in. But it does have some unique features. So it's generally less, almost entirely less expensive. We offer, it's not guaranteed, so I have to be careful about this, but when we can, which is 25 of the last 26 years, we offer a premium refund, which means it's a little bit like a cooperative or maybe a mutual insurance company if there are excess earnings. It's all member money. We're a nonprofit. The members own the organization. So we return some of that premium every year that we can. On top of that are benefits. You can buy more insurance through WAEPA, up to $1.5 million worth of coverage. We have a couple of riders. We have an automatic benefit increase rider, which if you purchase it, it will automatically increase in increments of $25,000. There are some limits around it, but it's $25,000 per year with no exam, no underwriting of any kind. And then we have something called the chronic illness rider, which has really taken off. I would say approaching 50% of people that buy a plan with us now buy that. And it's an early payout on the death benefit for people which have a chronic illness, which it's the same criteria that triggers the payment as long-term care. So it's not long-term care, but if you can't perform 2 of 5 activities of daily living, that's how the long-term care, that's the trigger for that product. This will pay out up to $125,000 a year. It's not restricted to one particular kind of spend. It's just a check that's cut to the household. The difference between this and long-term care insurance, well, there are many, but it's reducing your death benefit every time you take that. But it's cash in people's personal budgets and households when they need it.
Sure, and anyway, long-term care insurance has not even been available to new subscribers for 2 years anyhow in the federal system. So,
which may be why it's got our product has such a good take-up. At least that's part of it. There's one other quick but extremely important thing is that WAEPA, we only serve the federal community. Our roots are with the federal community. We've stayed true to that. Current feds, former feds are now eligible to join. So if you were once a federal employee, left federal service, you can now still join, take advantage of the group product and the ratings and all the things I mentioned before. But it's portable. So if you leave federal service with FEGLI is not portable. They do have conversion options, but generally speaking, conversion is a very expensive proposition. But if you had WAEPA and you left federal service, you can take this plan with you. It does not stop. So that's a material benefit when people transition out of the government. And that can be for doing something else with the rest of their professional career or retiring, either one.
and you mentioned earlier that people tend to look at WAEPA, and so much of your business comes in that open season toward the end of the year when people are thinking about financial wellness generally.
Yeah.
You and as a person and WAEPA as an organization kind of have that theme overarching all of the products, which is helping people feel good about their financial situation and ways to improve it. Maybe discuss that for a moment.
Yeah, well, we have on our website, we have a lot of education around life insurance. We also do a series of webinars on financial wellness, and we have resource guides online. All of that, most of it is not firewall protected. You can get that publicly, but some of it is. Some of it's behind a firewall. Part of that theme, and I like the way you phrased that, Tom, we put together about 6 years ago. So I came from a corporate benefits world, employee benefits. And one of the things large corporations have, big ones, as an employee benefit is financial wellness, financial planning at the individual level. And there are a couple of big players in this field. PwC does it, EY does it. And we put together a custom program for members of WAEPA that they can take advantage of at no cost, where they can talk to a certified financial planner, works for EY. And it's important to note that EY doesn't sell anything. And they're not selling WAEPA either. They literally can't. That's their model, is to what you might call a fee-based financial planner. And we have that whole piece of our website. It's firewalled off. You have conversations with the same financial planner. You can go in. They can do everything from answer particular questions to do a full-blown financial plan. And this would cost you many hundreds of dollars out on the street. They've got about 6 of their employees are trained in detail on some of the unique components of the federal benefits program. And so it doesn't cost anything. And it gets good take-up, but we encourage people to do this. This is a free resource, no strings attached. The final piece I'll mention, because this is really important, is that we don't know anything about individuals at all. And we don't want to know. So it's not only are they not selling, but it's completely confidential. And so the website is set up so that you can access it through our website. But once you get into the EY, there's a portal. And so everything is completely confidential, one-on-one. The only information we get are aggregate numbers. So many people did this, you had so many encounters, and that's how we
Sure.
compensate EY. But other than that, we don't know. So I'm dwelling on that because privacy is one reason, even in corporate America, that these plans aren't people don't take advantage of them like they should, because they wonder, well, does the employer, I don't want my employer to see this information about me. I just want to make absolutely plain that we're not involved in any way. And once you come in through the WAEPA program, we don't know anything. We don't know who your
Sure.
planner
Got
is.
it.
We don't
Yep.
know anything. So it's confidential.
And any final thoughts on open season as we get to the close of that?
I would say open season can be a little stressful. Do think about life insurance. We have calculators. You can call us and talk to somebody if you want to about how much life insurance do I need. But the basics are any outstanding debts that if you're gone you would like to take care of for your loved ones that are left. And the other piece that does get lost in the mix occasionally is lost future income. So if you're 50 years old, how many more working years do you have left? Well, if your family's depending upon that income, that evaporates. So it's two dynamics. It's current debt like mortgages and loans, and then it's lost future income.
All right. Well, you have given us a lot to think about. Shane, great to have you with us.
Good to see you, Tom. Thanks.
Shane Canfield is the CEO of WAEPA. I'm Federal Drive host Tom Temin. You're watching Federal News Network. Let's go back to the studio now for more on our open season exchange.